Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Lincoln Aviator. Before we get in this video, I'm going to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Mirror Lincoln here in Draper for giving me some time with this Aviator. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a turbo 3-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 17 around town, 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 415 pound-feet of torque. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now I think this brown paint job actually worked pretty darn well on the Aviator, that's why I picked out this particular one. Anyways, look at the light design, how you've got the DRL that kind of bleeds into the grille, and the grille is absolutely massive here, giant Lincoln logo there in the center as well. And overall, it's just a good looking car. Our tire wheel setup is 275 by 40 by 22. You guys can see the contrast with the silver and the black. I think that looks really sharp. You got these unpainted fender flares there. Aviator on the side. Blacked out mirror cap, and you got lots of chrome trim around the windows as well. I think it's interesting that they don't paint that bottom section there, but there's your side profile. Now this leads us to the key fob. We've got our lock and unlock remote start. We got the opening for the hatch. Lincoln logo there on the back. And the hatch will pop right open pretty quick. Now with the third row folded down, as you can see, you've got plenty of storage there in the back. With it folded up, I mean, it's still pretty practical overall, pretty normal for the segment. And the third row is power, which is definitely a nice feature. And then you get your little 12 volt there. And then as for the third row itself, the load floor itself is a little bit higher, not too high, so just push your legs up a bit, but overall it's pretty usable. I would reserve it for kids, and they do give vents in the back. This is pretty cool with the light bar that goes across the rear. You got all the exhaust tips there at the bottom as well, and yeah, this thing, it flows to the rear end. I think it looks good. Very interesting door handles, electronic poppers. So we've got this soft touch trim here at the top. And you can see the nice brown trim down below. This is cool for the speakers, for the sound system. And then here, the seats, definitely nice trim. Getting in's easy. Just kind of go right across. Got a little storage pocket there. And oh, interesting, the seat's still soft touch there in the back. I got the passengers get their own little screen. That's kind of a nice feature to have. It controls stuff like the climate. We've got vents here in the back. You got little charging ports down below. Some cup holders here in the back as well. And then headroom overall is good. This leads us up front where we've got more soft touch, and then down below with the brown trim. All of our seat adjustments. You got memory seat function, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. All of our window controls. The mirrors do power fold in. More speakers here for the sound system. And then here's the front seat. Perforated all down the center. Lots of adjustments. You can see, we kind of went over that earlier, but there's so many different ways to adjust the seats. Light controls there, and the steering wheel's power adjustable. And let's pop around. So we've got the Lincoln logo there front and center, nice stitching on the steering wheel airbag cover. And then you've got practical controls here on either side. And just like before, if I press a little, actually here, this one will be easier, press function. You can see it illuminates down below, so it kind of reveals it. Paddle shifters there on the back as well. Regular stocks there in the back too. Digital gauge cluster here in the center, which you can use to see different bits of information on different items depending on what you have selected. It's pretty customizable like most digital clusters. And then this is where the drive modes will be revealed, which gives you a little planet. Interesting. Excites your sport mode, by the way. But yeah, different modes for different uses. 360 camera system, good resolution. Trajectory lines do turn with the steering wheel. And as for the rest of the infotainment system, it definitely has a tablet there on the dash, but it seems like it responds quickly. Yeah, so that's easy enough. And then we do have massage seat functionality with this. Got ambient lighting as well. So you know, all the luxury car stuff that you'd want. Oh, also the climate controls and the heated and ventilated seats, all that are in the screen for those of you wondering. Nice trim all across the dash. Up top, it's more soft touch. There's a heads-up display with this version. And then we've got our transmission select, which is a bunch of buttons. The Lincoln logo below. You have some physical controls like the traction. That's funny. A little volume control there. Phone charging pad. You got some cup holders here. Drive mode select. Parking brake. And on the center console. Nice trim here on the top, regular rear view mirror, and then we do have a panoramic sunroof. Here's a quick look at the window sticker. You can see this is a Reserve 2. Total MSRP is $82,870, and let's see how it performs. Well, Lincoln Aviator. This one has the fancy adaptive suspension, so it's kind of cool. And that's, I think the suspension is what, you know, the interior as well, obviously. The suspension and the interior is what really differentiates this from the Explorer. And that sounds like, so I should say suspension, interior and exterior. It sounds like a lot of stuff, but if you just change the looks of a car, but you don't really change how it drives too much, it's like, are you really getting more car? But yeah, the suspension system, if you get the fancy suspension on this, which it ain't coming cheap, it does fundamentally change things in a pretty large way. Now, you know, of course we're out of gas. This turbo V6 has tons and tons of power. It's the ST engine. And from my understanding, it's standard now in the Aviator. And so you get all the power standard, which is really cool, I think. Show you guys a little acceleration here. It's got some power. Now, the most impressive thing is the suspension. If you have a chance to drive one of these with an adaptive suspension, do it so you can see what I'm talking about. It is so comfortable over the bumps. Some of these adaptive suspension systems don't really do that much. They kind of make so the car might handle a little bit better. They make them maybe a little bit more comfortable, but it's never, I shouldn't say never, but it's like not a huge difference. Whereas this, on the other hand, why is this not blowing? Just how we select, oh, there we go. There we go. Anyways, yeah, like this little speed bump here, you still feel it, okay? It's not like it doesn't exist anymore, but it really does help out with smoothing things out, and just with the general handling dynamics. I think it's actually very impressive. So, with that being said, you know, is this worth getting over like a Cadillac or, you know, other luxury that people might look at, Mercedes or Audi, BMW? Here's my 2 cents. First off, you're taking this to a Ford dealership for servicing, so you're going to be paying Ford service costs. I mean, some of the Lincoln stuff's going to be more expensive, obviously, if it breaks. So like take that into account, but like your per hour rate is going to be you're going to be paying a Ford per hour rate, from my understanding. I don't think they differentiate. I mean, let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think they differentiate it. Like you're at a Ford dealership, right? It's a Lincoln dealership, but it's also a Ford dealership. So that's nice compared to other luxury automakers, right? And then the other thing that I would say is Lincoln does a really good job with luxury. The only other automaker that does, I would say, as good of a job with luxury is Genesis. The one thing that I like about the Lincoln over the Genesis is just how the Lincoln drives. I think the GV80 that this competes against, and if you guys want me to ever do a comparison, I could probably figure something out. Might be difficult. Might be difficult. But anyways, I just think this drives a little bit better. I think the engine performance is smoother. They're both V6s. They're both turbocharged. But this engine's just a little bit smoother. It's got a little bit more power. And yeah, the seats are a little bit more comfortable. Like everything's just a little bit nicer in the Lincoln. And it's not like the price point's that different. They're pretty similar in price point. I actually think this and the GV80 are the 2 best of this size. I think they're the 2 best in the segment. I don't think anything else really competes with them. And like I said, the thing with the Lincoln is just how the interior is put together, the comfort, the drive. It's really nice. Like if you're looking at a luxury car, just go and at least look at a Lincoln. Like you don't have to pay anything to go on a test drive, right? You just have to pay with your time. So I think it's at least worth looking into.